Hello ladies and gentlemen and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video it is going to be another ranking. And I'm going to be ranking all 9 Zack Snyder directed movies. So with Zack Snyder's and Netflix's Army of the Dead finally releasing, well of course that means I'm going to have to update my Zack Snyder ranking. This movie was very high up on my most anticipated list. 1 being that I am a huge zombie fan, movies, games, comics, you name it. 2, I am a huge Zack Snyder fan. And 3, this is Zack Snyder's first bit of original work in a full decade. And I think that's all I really need to say. And so without further ado, let's hop right into things. Number 9, Sucker Punch. This movie is a clear-cut definition of all style, no substance. The only thing I really enjoy about this movie is its action sequences, because they're just so cool, slick, and memorable. As we jump through various settings, following our heroes as they take on giant stone samurai, orcs, robots, undead Nazis, and even dragons. It's all just very exciting, well shot, and well choreographed. It really is every teenage boy's wet dream. It's exactly what you get when you blend anime, comic books, and a video game. It just sucks that those action sequences are very few and far between. And everything in the middle of those action sequences is so forgettable, except for Oscar Isaac as our main villain. Number 8, Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. For those of you who are wondering what it would be like if Zack Snyder directed an animated movie, well, here you go. Believe me, it's really not bad by any means, but it's also no award winner. It won't go down in history as one of the best animated movies of all time or anything, but as Zack's one attempt at the medium, I think it's really worth checking out. It's got gorgeous visuals and an all-star cast, and it's also very well written. I just think it's a little forgettable, as in it's not one you're going to be placing on repeat time and time again until the end of time. Number 7, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. As I always say, I very much so have a love-hate relationship with this movie. As in, I hated the theatrical cut, but I really love the Ultimate Edition. I think that the Ultimate Edition fills in a lot of gaps that were needed to better flesh out the storytelling, and to really give everything a sense of connectivity, as well as really help the flow of the story. Nevertheless, Ben Affleck is perfect as the Dark Knight, even if he is all murdery and stuff. And Henry Cavill is once again the perfect embodiment of the Man of Steel. The action is big, epic, and exciting. The visuals are top-notch, but it can often feel overstuffed, which leads to it often losing focus. I will never buy Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and shoehorning Doomsday and Wonder Woman into the final act was a big mistake. Despite the Ultimate Edition's 3-hour runtime, it still feels like there's just way too much going on for its own good. It just feels like there is a giant spiderweb of a plot and you're stuck trying to connect it all. Number 6, Army of the Dead. Well, this movie was exactly as advertised, and I'm not complaining about that whatsoever. It really is just big, dumb, goofy, action-packed, blood-soaked fun. It is a team of mercenaries going into a walled-off Las Vegas to fight an army of the dead. Except a portion of these zombies are actually quite intelligent. At least intelligent when the plot needs them to be intelligent, because other than that, they just run straight into the bullets. Nevertheless, though, the entire cast is great, honestly. They meshed so well together, and I found them all to be very lovable and quite relatable characters. And the vast majority of the jokes were actually pretty clever and landed well with me. Dave Bautista, though, of course, was the standout, and once again shows that this dude has some serious acting chops. And when I say gory, I mean gory because blood is splattering everywhere, as it should be with this one. It is a bit too long and drawn out for its own good, as most Zack Snyder movies are, but that doesn't change the fact that you can very easily sit back, kick your feet up, turn your brain off, and have a blast. Because this movie really is just all balls to the wall, crazy zombie fun. Number 5, 300. A swords and sandals epic unlike any other, that was shot entirely in front of a green screen in order to accurately replicate its source material. And they nailed it. It has a pretty simple premise. 300 Spartans led by the baddest of badasses, Leonidas, played brilliantly by Gerard Butler, protecting their home by facing off against hundreds of thousands of invading Persian forces, led by the godlike, mystic, otherworldly Xerxes. It's simple, gory, kick-ass fun. and it gets the adrenaline pumping in all the right ways. It mixes things up as well to keep things fresh and interesting, by including many ungodly beasts unleashed by the Persian army, that help to further tie it in with its source material. With countless quotable moments, a breakneck pedal-to-the-metal pace, thrilling, over-the-top, blood-soaked action, you can really never go wrong with 300. Number 4. Dawn of the Dead. This might be my favorite zombie movie of all time, and if it's not number 1, then it's definitely number 2. For many of the same reasons that I just listed for 300. It's a very simple story of a group of people trying to survive the zombie apocalypse while hiding out in a shopping mall. It is incredibly fast-paced, with only short and small breaks in between the undead chaos. It is also incredibly gory, as a zombie movie should be, and it really does pull no punches. It's just some good old-fashioned insane zombie thrills, with a memorable setting, a diverse cast of characters, and an iconic story updated for modern times to address modern issues. An easy watch and a surefire crowd pleaser for die-hard zombie fans. Number 3. Watchmen. Watchmen is, to me, the best example out there of comic book pages jumping right onto the big screen. I really mean it. This whole movie just feels like comic book panels in motion in live action. And Zack and his team absolutely crushed that aspect of it. Everyone said that the graphic novel was unfilmable, and they certainly proved them wrong. Although there is much debate in the community on whether if he was able to give the themes of the graphic novel the justice they required, but I myself, as a fan of the graphic novel, thought that Zack and his team did a magnificent job. I've also always felt that the changes made to the source material in order to modernize it were very clever, smart, and worked extraordinarily well. The visuals are stunning, and the cast is absolutely perfect, with Jackie Earle Haley and Jeffrey Dean Morgan being the standouts for sure. The action hits hard and feels impactful and quite brutal. And in all honesty, I think this is a near-perfect movie in a damn perfect adaptation. Number 2. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Tears of joy. That's how I felt when finally seeing this. I was a massive supporter of the Release the Snyder Cut movement, so to see this finally brought to life and somehow exceed my expectations was just such an amazing feeling. Firstly, the cast all get their time to shine here, and for most of them to show off why they are the perfect embodiments of their respective characters. From touching and beautiful character moments, to their badass and undeniably satisfying action sequences, the cast just meshes so well together, and the whole team-building aspect of it was pulled off so well. The movie is filled with big, grand, epic set pieces, marvelous visuals, with a pair of memorable villains, between the new and improved Steppenwolf as well as Darkseid in his live-action debut. And the movie does such an immaculate job on delivering everything that Man of Steel and Batman v Superman had been building towards, bringing various arcs full circle, while also brilliantly setting up for what would be an undeniably unique and epic future that we will sadly likely never see. Number 1. Man of Steel. What can I say? This is one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. I've really never understood any of the hate that it gets. The story is well told, fantastically paced, and delivers on a nice full arc, beginning, middle, and end. Henry Cavill is Clark Kent. He is Superman. The best we have ever had for the character and the best that we will ever have. This movie and this man are the pinnacle of the character in my eyes. The action is big, bombastic, spectacular popcorn fun, and is exactly how a real-life Superman and General Zod throwdown would go. I mean, these two are literal gods with the power to single-handedly wipe out the entire planet on their own. Oh, and also, killing Zod was completely necessary. There was no other way that could have been dealt with. It also has appropriate but not too in-your-face world building, a believable romance between our leads, one of the best comic book villains of all time with Michael Shannon's General Zod, and a massive, unforgettable final battle, along with some gorgeous cinematography, one of Hans Zimmer's best scores, and honestly just countless more memorable Superman moments. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my ranking, and feel free to let me know what you'd like to see me rank next. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, and if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe, thank you so much for watching, and that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you, and while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.